Did you ever use music as a way to break down barriers when you were in other countries?
So yes, I mean, like I kind of just referenced it then about sort of last minute gigs with people. I suppose that was probably more expected of me because of the role that I was in. But certainly, I can remember being in Singapore once and feeling. So I've been to lots of different places in Asia, and Singapore, if you've ever been there, is more structured. It's basically, you know, city. The country is the city. So I've kind of gone from, you know, all these different places where I was sort of, you know, hiking in all sorts of, you know, different places, going through slums in India and all sorts. And you had sort of this really nice, ordered, structured country. And in a way, I found that harder to break into because, you know, it was kind of like kind of going out in London and sort of just, you know, meeting someone off the street or something. But what do you do to really sort of break down barriers and sort of introduce yourself to people and sort of, you know, integrate yourself a little more so you can understand about, you know, the society that you're living in, albeit temporarily. So I can remember going to a jazz club in Singapore and just sitting to listen to the music. And it was just, I'm not particularly a big fan of jazz myself, but it was just the most, you know, amazing experience to be amongst people who were really interested in you. They wanted you to join in. They were encouraging people to come up and sing and play. And I did that, even though I was like, oh my God, I can't do jazz. What am I doing? You know, and it was that kind of, that was the key turning point in my trip there, in which I started to speak to lots of people. They introduced me to other musicians. I kind of became temporarily sort of a part of that circle of musicians in Singapore. And everyone knows each other, I think, in the music circle in Singapore. So that was a really kind of key, a key moment for me. And there are multiple other times where, you know, I've got up and sang, I've got up and played, and it's just been something that really does allow you to fuse with people in a different way, and bond with people through different language barriers and all sorts. And your experience with that person, I find, is very different afterwards.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you saying that, you know, you don't feel that confident on the inside. I mean, what you've done there with the travel is, like I said, it's incredibly brave, but it's, you know, you've put yourself in some very vulnerable positions, but you've made yourself vulnerable because you're there, you're doing it. And we're kind of improvising all the time. You know, the kind of improvisation side of what you do is turning up in a strange country, in a culture that you don't know anything about, and communicating, whether that's through music or through speaking. You know, we are improvising all the time.
Absolutely, I completely agree. And there's something about kind of stripping it back to that raw nature. When you say vulnerable, that really resonated with me, because that is how I felt a lot in you know, in different countries. I feel like that sometimes at home. I feel like that sometimes when, you know, I'm speaking to new people. I've got to make an impression. I'm sure everyone does. And I think sort of just being able to strip it back to that sort of that rawness allows you to sort of go back to basics and develop from that point.
Yeah,